Bless the Lord, O my soul, and all within me his holy name. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and never forget all his benefits. It is the Lord who forgives all our sins, who heals every one of your ills, who redeems your life from the grave, who crowns you with mercy and compassion. The Lord does deeds of justice, who gives justice to all who are oppressed. He made known his ways to Moses, and his deeds to the children of Israel. The Lord is compassionate and gracious, slow to anger and rich in mercy. He does not treat us according to our sins, nor repay us according to our faults.
The priesthood is the love of the heart of Jesus. My reflection for Corpus Christi and the Sacred Heart of Jesus. If anyone eats this bread, he will live forever. As I wrote this reflection for the coming week, where we have the celebration of two solemnities of Corpus Christi, the most holy body and blood of Christ, Sunday the 7th of June, and the Most Sacred Heart of Jesus, Friday the 12th of June. I'm conscious of how closely linked these two are and how much they are at the centre of our journey in faith. Originally, Corpus Christi was celebrated on the Thursday following Trinity Sunday. An article in the regular online newsletter Aletheia by Philip Kozlowski reminds us that it was in the 13th century that a Belgian nun, Juliana of Liège, urged church leaders to institute a feast in honor of the Most Blessed Sacrament on that day. Many will recall that it remained there until relatively recently. It is now celebrated on the Sunday following. The Feast of Corpus Christi was established in 1264 and was given an octave soon afterwards, meaning that the spiritual theme celebrated on Corpus Christi remained the primary focus of church liturgy for 8 days. Then in the 17th century, St. Margaret Mary Alacoque of Paray-le-Monial had a vision in which Jesus revealed his heart to her and said, "I ask thee that the first Friday after the octave of Corpus Christi be set apart as a special feast to honor my heart." It is recorded that she had this vision during Eucharistic adoration, with the Blessed Sacrament exposed on the altar. This was fulfilled in 1856 when Pope Pius IX established the Feast of the Sacred Heart following the octave of Corpus Christi. The solemnity of the Sacred Heart is celebrated on that day, though the octave of Corpus Christi is no longer celebrated, and the solemnity of Corpus Christi itself is transferred to the Sunday after Trinity Sunday. Kozlowski, in his article for Aletheia, writes, "The two devotions, to the Eucharist and to the Sacred Heart, are closely connected. The Sacred Heart explains the mystery of the love of Jesus, by which he becomes bread in order to nourish us with his substance, while in the Eucharist we have the real presence of this same heart living in our midst. It is wonderful to contemplate the heart of Jesus as the symbol of his infinite love, but it is even more wonderful to find him always near us in the sacrament of the altar. Jesus himself asked St. Margaret Mary to promote both the feast of the Sacred Heart and Eucharistic adoration. It is in the Eucharistic host that we can find the heart of Jesus beating and pouring itself out upon us. It was St. John Henry Newman who said this prayer, "O most sacred, most loving heart of Jesus, thou art concealed in the Holy Eucharist, and thou beatest for us still. O my God, when thou dost condescend to suffer me to receive thee, to eat and drink thee, and thou for a while takest up thy abode within me, O make my heart beat with thy heart." Newman had founded the Congregation of the Oratory at Old Oscott in the 1840s and gave the house the name Maryvale. There is a little chapel there housing an image of the Sacred Heart, the first place of public devotion to the Sacred Heart in England. A novena of Masses begins there this Thursday and ends on the solemnity of the Sacred Heart itself, the 12th of June at 7 o'clock in the evening. One of the devotions associated with the solemnity of Corpus Christi is the procession honouring the Blessed Sacrament, and traditionally the Pope leads a procession in Rome from St. John Lateran, the cathedral church, to St. Mary Major to mark the solemnity. Last year he quoted St. Augustine in his homily. He said, "Christ is truly panis qui reficit, et non deficit, panis qui sumi potest, consumi non potest." He is bread that restores and does not run short, bread that can be eaten but not exhausted. Cindy Wooden of the Catholic News Service in Rome records in OSV News, "In the Corpus Christi procession, the Pope said, all those involved give witness to how Jesus' real presence in the Eucharist transforms them and leads them to become his body united in the Church." This year, Pope Leo will be in Spain for an apostolic visit on the occasion of Corpus Christi, and his plan is to lead a procession of the Blessed Sacrament in Madrid on that day, a wonderful witness of the power of the Eucharist to transform the lives of all who are touched by his real presence. At the same time, the bishops of the United States of America will welcome the relics of St. Margaret Mary to the United States as they consecrate the country to the Sacred Heart of Jesus on the 11th of June, marking 250 years of independence. Such a public act will be an occasion for us all to reflect on this devotion and its relevance in our lives. For priests in particular, it is an opportunity to reflect once more on the letter of Pope Benedict XVI as he inaugurated a year for priests to begin on the 150th anniversary of the death of St. John Vianney, the Curé of Ars, on the 4th of August 1859. It was the 19th of June 2009, the Feast of the Sacred Heart, which he highlighted as a traditional day of prayer for the sanctification of priests. And the Pope quoted a frequent saying of Curé of Ars, "The priesthood is the love of the heart of Jesus." What a wonderful vocation, one we priests can thank God for, especially on the solemnity of the Sacred Heart of Jesus. One of my favorite gospel passages is the road to Emmaus. It is an image of Jesus walking with his disciples and sharing the scriptures with them. They came to the recognition of his presence at the breaking of bread, the Eucharist. If anyone eats this bread, he will live forever.